I'm Julian Casallas. I'm the Senior Marketing Specialist at 3Share. I've been working with Adobe Campaign since the time it was Neolane, about 6-7 years ago. So that's a bit of my background. I started with 3Share not long ago, so hopefully I may get to speak a little faster when I get nervous, but if I do, please stop me and I'll explain everything if you guys need to. So what's Campaign? What's Adobe Campaign? So Adobe Campaign is it's a tool that provides cross-channel experience, data-driven engagements, and allows for the automation and execution of marketing campaigns across all channels. It does this by cohesive content design, allows for execution measurement of your channels and your campaigns, and delivers consistent offers and messages for all your customers. It does it by bringing together the power of data, design, and delivery. So there is like 6 main parts of Adobe Campaign. The first one is visual campaign orchestration. Visual is very important. It's very easy to navigate to. It's a drag and drop tool where you can drag your icons, create queries on the go, see the flow, see how many customers you're targeting, how many customers are you not targeting, and why. So the visual of Campaign is very important. Integrate customer profiles. So it pretty much it takes the engagement, it makes the engagement of customers across all channels a lot easier. And target segmentation. So it uses a centralized profile to segment customers based on their attributes and based on their data. You're able to bring data, third-party data or second-party data into Campaign and segment your customers that way. Cross-channel campaign delivery. So you can take email, SMS, and social delivery channels, and orchestrate them in a way where you're delivering the consistent message across all your platforms, all your channels. Real-time interaction. So it delivers a one-to-one message across all inbound and outbound channels. Again, the same thing. All your offers, all your messages are the same, are centralized. Your customers are seeing the same thing everywhere, and it's orchestrated in that way. And reporting. It allows you to see what customers are opening, whether they're clicking or they're not clicking. Allows you to see through A/B testing. You can see which email or which subject line or which image is performing better. Allows you to align that later and change it, make changes to your campaign to target customers better and to make your campaigns more efficient. Targeting segmentation. So that's one of the best things about Campaign. It personalizes campaigns based on the data you have, and it segments the data your customers according to what you want. And again, allows you to change things on the fly. Once you notice your campaign performing or not performing, you can change the method of which you're segmenting your customers very, very quickly and very efficiently, so that for the next campaign run or the next delivery you're doing, you are targeting your customers better. You're starting to learn how your customers are behaving online and offline, and you're starting to understand what's really driving them to open or click your messages. Again, you have demographic data that you can use. So one of my past experiences was we had an energy company, and they were getting into the green products. So they purchased data about what customers in what postal codes or zip codes drive green cars, right? Knowing which customers drive green cars allows them to really target those postal codes, or those zip codes, to say, listen, we understand this particular area is heavy on green, so we want to target you and we want to offer your green products. So that's kind of the low-hanging fruit where marketers can really start offering customers what they're really into, what they really want to get, and again, it's a low-hanging fruit. Allows to get more customers on board and selling better products to them. Past send history. You're sending customers campaigns every week, every month. You don't want to bombard them with or getting tired with emails and content every single week or every single month. So we can set up rules. The campaign can set up rules to say, if you've already received 4 emails, you haven't opened them, let's give you a break. Let's not tire you with our messages, and let's continue with something better. Let's try to change the strategy to engage you better, right? That's how we get to understand our customers. And response data. So in our emails, or the emails that campaign sends, there is opt-out links. There is whether there is a registration for an event, whether there is a registration or a form to be filled out. All that data gets back into Campaign, and we can target customers that have responded to an event. We can target customers that have not responded to an event. So that's really what it is. It's the recipient gets the email. Like it doesn't click on the email. So there's a predefined campaign set up to target those customers. The beauty of this is you set this up one time, and it just runs. It runs every day, every week, depending on what schedule you want to set it up, and it will automatically run. So it will save you time. It will save the company time having to go and create a campaign every single week or every single month to try to target these customers that haven't really clicked on the link or something you're trying to sell them. So defining the best offer or action. Again, there's channels in Campaign. There's website, there's email, there's SMS. I want to take that for an example right now. And you have customers that don't like to be contacted through email. So the next best thing is, okay, well, let's target them through SMS. And then we also know whether these customers have purchased, and an example that we're going to do later is TacoFest. So we know which customers purchased TacoFest tickets, VIP tickets last year. So we're going to target those customers, and we're going to target them first, offering the VIP tickets for 2019. But we also know there's customers that only got the general admission or the early bird. But we're going to try to convert them into a VIP. So we're going to try to give them a better offer, we're going to talk to them in their terms. So we know you didn't purchase your VIP tickets last year, but how about you purchase them this year? We give you an incentive of 20%, or give you an incentive of 40%. And all this is done on the fly. It's done on the email itself, and the customers will see them according to what their previous experience was. Again, that goes back to relevant offer. We're offering them something that is meaningful to them. Campaign allows that, to offer them something meaningful to the customer. So my presentation is a little bit different than a few of the ones that I've seen today. I'm going to be more going to the hands-on demo. I'm going to be demonstrating Campaign Classic and Campaign Standard. What are the similarities and where are the differences between the two, and what kind of can be done, kind of thing. So with that, so this is Campaign Classic. This is V7. It's a desktop version. So that's one of the main differences right now between Campaign Classic and Campaign Standard. Campaign Classic, it's a desktop version, it's a client version. It has to be installed on a computer, and it runs on PC, not on Mac. That's a big difference. Whereas Campaign Standard, you can run it on Mac, you can run it on PC. It's a web form. It's a web-based, so that's one of the main difference. It's a folder structure, like a PC, like everyone's used to in a PC. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to create a campaign to target customers for TacoFest, or the customers that were part of last year's TacoFest. So first thing is we create our campaign. It creates a blank canvas. Right here, it creates a blank canvas where we can now start creating, and marketers can start creating their workflows. Who are we going to target? How are we going to target them? What are we going to offer them? And which channels? So the very first thing that usually gets done is we start with a scheduler. Here we schedule how often we want to run this. We want to run it daily, weekly, monthly, or once. So in this case, let's just run it once for the example. But actually show you, if we wanted to run it monthly, how it will look like. So what time do we want to run it? And this goes back to understanding what our customers are doing. So when we start running campaigns, we start analyzing when our customers are opening their emails. What's the best time? What days of the week are they opening the emails? So once we start gathering all this data, it makes it easier for the next campaign, for the next one, to know, okay, let's change our time to the day where our customers are actually opening and clicking our emails. So, and for the sake of this, we're just gonna go once. Say at 12, it's fine. And then what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a little, what's this? Fork. So what's a fork? It's just really, it takes that command and it just splits it into 1 or 2 or 3 different outputs. In this case, I'd like to do, the first fork will be email. Sorry. Or Twitter. Oh, they're fussy. Oh. There you go, Twitter. So there's 2 here. And you should have done that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to segment my customer base. How am I going to segment this? So for I think a query, again, as you can see, guys, is a drag and drop system. Take your query. Now you're able to see, and again, this is one of the great things about Campaign, is you're able to take the customers you have and all the data you have available in Campaign to really segment and make your campaigns as detailed as possible or as broad as possible. So I'm going to show you all the fields that we currently have in Campaign. You have age, company, language, first names, last names, whether they have an email or not. They also have whether they want to be contacted by fax, by email, or SMS or not. So all this information can be used to target and segment customers according to what we want and really refine who we want to target. In this case, again, I'm just going to make sure that they have an email. And that's that. The next thing would be Twitter, right? So to go to our Twitter, and here we can really add the message we want to send these customers. And again, the great thing about this is it's consistent. You're going to have this email and the Twitter message delivered at the exact same time to the customer. Well, to the customer, the email and Twitter, they'll see it as well. So they'll see the consistency, and they'll see what we want them to see, right? What we're trying to offer them, or what the offer is. And that's really how Twitter would work. Now, this is a sandbox environment, so I won't be able to show the actual connection to Twitter. But the idea is that once you have it, it's set up, and you can change it again as you go. The next thing I like to show is I like to split this into customers that have a good email and customers that don't have actually have a blacklisted email. They don't want us to contact them through email, or customers that have the email quarantine. An email quarantine means a bounce, and we just can't contact them. We don't want to really waste, and we want to contact them a different way. So I like to split this with a split. Yeah. So again, we can segment and target customers that we actually want. And the way we do that is there's something called user filters. Here these are filters I created before a campaign is created, or they're created when the campaign is happening, and they're saved. So they're right here. You don't have to go and look again for how the rules work for all this stuff, whether they created a certain date or by age range, or they create a specific link. All this stuff is already pre-built or pre-created, and then you just use it. You finish it, right? And then you can add more to this. And the only one I wanted to add is they're blacklisted. So filtering conditions, again, you can use anything in the database to target them. So these customers don't want us to contact them through email. So we just click finish. And the remaining customers are the ones that we want to target with our email campaign. So I have target email, and I have the other two subsets, the quarantines and the blacklisted. So I want to take those two together and put them together, really. Just make sure those two segments are together. And what I'm going to do with those two people, those two segments of customers is I'm going to send them an SMS. I know I can contact them through email, so I'm going to send them an SMS. Let me find my SMS here. Oh, wow. And again, here we can select. Oh, come on. So we continue, and here we can again select what we want to send them. It's going to be a text. They're going to receive this. And again, they would have received this through the Twitter, so they would have seen at Twitter, and they were also going to see this on a text. And for all those that we do have an email, I am going to send them an actual email. Now, Campaign will have predetermined templates that are created beforehand by marketers or by the creative team. Those templates are saved. So I created 2 before, and I have one TacoFest here. I'm going to use that one. As I click continue, we're going to see what the content is for that email that we're going to send a customer. So as you guys can see, there's some if statements here. Where if a customer is VIP, then we're going to send them a different type of offer, whereas if a customer is an early bird, a different type of offer. But if it's a complete different type of offer. Again, this talks and speaks to how we're targeting our customers and send them something meaningful that they can actually action. And in here we can add anything to this email that is on our database. So we can address, line, recipients, the last name, the first name is validation. We can add any kind of information and content here to make it more appealing and to make it easier for the customer to understand. But we've also added the first name here. So when you speak to the customer, it's better to say, Julian, mark your calendars, TacoFest 2019 is coming, rather than just saying, mark your calendars, TacoFest 2019 is coming. So when you put the name on the subject line, it makes it easier, and it prompts the customers to open that email. It's easier. You can preview this. We have to run it first. So. You guys are going to see this in a red, because again, we don't have a connection yet, but there you go, finished. recipient. So I want to see someone that has a VAP equals to 1, just so I see that it's really working, and I see how the customer would see it. Okay, so now we have all the customers that have bought a VIP ticket before. Select one of those. Boom, there you go. So now you're only seeing, the customer's only seeing, we know you bought a ticket last year. Please go ahead and purchase our VIP ticket this year as well. So we're not asking them to purchase on a 20% or 40% off, because we know these customers are, again, the low-hanging fruit. They purchased before, they're likely to purchase again. Again, that goes back to a lot of other data that we could have, that we could add to this query and segmentation to make it more specific. But this is just an example of how we can use the data to target that customer. Then what are we going to do? So we're trying to get the customer to take an action. And if they don't open or click that email, we want to make sure that they do. And we want to remind them that there's an offer for them waiting, and they need to take advantage of it. So this didn't. Oh, where's this? Oh, sorry, guys. I'm trying to see where this is. Sorry, guys. Oh. This. There you go. I'm going to use this. Sorry. So now we've sent the email. We want to wait a certain period of time to contact them again. So usually, say 2 or 3 days after they receive the first email, we want to contact them again. What are we going to do? We're going to check for customers that have not opened, or they've opened and haven't clicked, or they haven't opened the email. We want to see why. Not why, but we want to target them again, and again, remind them, make sure that we're present, engaging the customer to take action. Split this again. And again, those customers that have done something with our email, again, user filters, and they have opened but not clicked. So they've opened the email, but they didn't click on any of our links. So we know we caught their attention before. We know they want to see this type of email. So we want to try to get them to actually buy and purchase. And again, for those that did open and click, we create. So now we have 2. Again, we're just going to target them again. This time I'm going to be using a different template that I've created. Oh, there you go. This is a static email template that I've created. It says the same thing for all this segment of customers. Again, we can modify it to make it dynamic, but in this case, I just decided to use as static. Again, the difference of using both. This year, TacoFest is better, bigger, better, and better. So use that and invite them to purchase. And then we can do the same thing for the ones that did open and click. We can also add another criteria that says you actually purchase. So for those customers, we might send them an email that says, "Thank you for purchasing. We'll see you at TacoFest." So this kind of concludes my demo on Campaign Classic. I want to show you how Campaign Standard is a little bit different. I've already created it, so I'm not going to spend too much time creating the workflow. But it's the same idea. So you have a scheduler, you have your query, and you have your good email or no email. And one of the main differences between standard and classic is this marketers like standard a lot more because it's easier to create the dynamic content. There's this. So here. Again, this is sandbox, so this usually doesn't happen in production, but it's a sandbox, so it's a little slower. Again, here we have our template, and here we have our dynamic content that would change according to what the customer is experiencing. So the way that that would happen is I will actually go to Campaign, resources, templates. You create your templates. Oh, sorry. This is dynamic content. Let's see where I see it here. And so I'm not seeing it. I'm going to see the dynamic content. I apologize. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it. But the idea is you do see the difference between this changing according to what the customer has previously done or based on whatever segmentation or whatever data we have. And again, we have all data available in Campaign Standard, just like we do in Campaign Classic. And we can use any of that data to really segment and see the customers. We can also have a preview here. And this will actually show you how this particular email will show in an iPad, will show in an Access, on a desktop, and a variety of other devices, right? iPhone 6, this is how it will look like. So it allows the marketers to actually see the content and delivery before the customer is actually seeing it. So again, a lot of people like the look and feel of standard, and some other ones like the look and feel of classic. There's different functionalities for both. I feel Campaign Standard is getting way better as the time goes by. There's more things coming up with Campaign Standard. And again, on Campaign Standard, we can do pretty much the exact same thing. We wait, we segment again, and then we can offer the customers another offer. Can continue to keep them engaged on what we're trying to get them to do, to get them to finally take an action and make a purchase. Yes?
Is there feature parity between standard and classic?
Sorry?
Is there feature parity between standard and classic? So can you do everything in standard that you can do in classic? Just that you don't do that?
No, you can't. There's some functionalities that you can't. Maybe we can take this later and I can show you some of the differences. But again, I think there was a question earlier whether or not Classic was going to continue to be developed. But I think the main focus right now is Classic is really good. It has a lot of APIs. It has a lot of functionality. I think the idea now is Standard is getting there. Standard is getting better, more robust. There's better functionality than when it started a couple of years ago. So you probably can do 90% of the things you do in standard. You can do it in Classic. You can do it in Standard. There's a few things that you can't, but again, that goes to it's still a product that's being developed. It's being improved every single month or day, and I leave that to the Adobe folks to maybe speak more about what's coming in the next few months or years. But again, it's a drag and drop functionality. Both of them are, and you can target customers and segment customers the same way. So with that, I'll go back to my presentation. I think I'm kind of running a bit late, but so remarketing. Remarketing uses the integration with Adobe Analytics to really integrate the two and really talk to the customer. And one of the examples I'm going to show you, and I'm going to be using analytics in this scenario, but I'm going to show you what it will look like. And again, it will probably be the same thing that we did right now, but a bit more in depth and using a different tool to target these customers. So browser abandonment and search abandonment are two of the biggest ones, and same with cart abandonment. So customer goes in from your email, there's a link, the link is tracked, customer doesn't purchase, they goes to the cart, adds the tickets to the cart, but it doesn't really purchase them or actually actions the purchase. Many different reasons why. Maybe it took too long. Maybe they thought it was going to be cheaper. Maybe they thought once they added the shipment, then it was a lot more expensive. So they stop, they don't purchase, but you can target those customers. So in this case, the recipient opens the email, recipient clicks the link. It goes to the page. It spends some time browsing the page, and then after 10 minutes, it just stops. They don't do anything else. They just stop browsing the page. There's a trigger from Analytics to Campaign that will say, well, this customers stop browsing the page. Why? And let's target them with another email right there, following up as to why. Like continue with the purchase you were making. This just allows and shows the customer that we care, that the company cares, and that through Campaign they can actually target and speak to the customer right there and then when they are actually still active on their session on the computer. There's a few Campaign integrations, and I'm not going to get into the integrations themselves, but I want to talk about what Campaign integrates with and why. So analytics, again, is real-time analytics. It lets you speak to the customer based on the behaviors they take on their website. And again, for cart abandonment and stuff, you can convert them a lot easier by talking to them right there and then. Campaign and core services, it shares audiences to marketing with the Marketing Cloud, and you can push audiences from Campaign and into Campaign. Campaign Target is a great tool to optimize and really send the right offer at the right time to the right device. And the Experience Manager, you can create templates and content in AM, and then have that content be pushed to Campaign, either Campaign Classic or Standard, and use that in Campaign for your deliveries. Again, it just keeps everything organized, and it keeps everything looking the same. And this is some of the Campaign integrations. So what it really does is Campaign can be used as a standalone. It's a great tool to be used as standalone, but once you integrate with other solutions, it just becomes better. It becomes more attractive and it more usable, and it was more meaningful. But again, you can use Campaign as a standalone product. It has the content creation. It has some targeting, offer management, and again, the integrations will make it better, will make it more robust, and it will make more sense for the customers. So again, Campaign rocks. I've been doing Campaign for a while, and I love it. It's been since I started, it's been a great tool. When I was at before, it was very rudimentary the way they were targeting customers. When Campaign came along, it increased a lot more of the retention, interactions with customers. So it's the days of not contacting customers through email are way behind, and I think Campaign, without that, is one of the best marketing tools that you can use. Q&A, if anyone has, I think right about time right now, but if anyone has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. If you don't, you can grab me outside. Here's my email, my LinkedIn, my phone number. If you guys have any questions, you can contact me, and we can, again, get more in-depth information from Campaign and how to use it and what to do with it, or why not to do with it. Guys, thank you very much. Apologize if maybe I spoke too fast at times, but again, I'm really happy to be here, very excited. It's my first of all, hopefully now at last, and hope to see you guys in the next sessions. Thank you very much.